So why do you use a corkboard for measuring?
I don't just use it for measuring. I tend to use it whenever there's a diagram presented to a learner. It helps them to work out the relationship from the object to their body. It keeps it in a fixed position, and it means you can mark things with different sorts of pins so that they can have much more independent access. You can make lines with lots of different things. You can use sticky back plastic with braille on it and trim them down. This one's a bit of wallpaper for doll's house. This is the gridding tape for whiteboards, which is one of my preferred methods. Of course, you can use line on German film, or you can use a proper raised diagram, but these can be created very quickly and instantly.
And how do you secure the paper to the board? Is there a particular method you use?
Okay, I tend to use these hat blocking pins because they're much lower and shorter than the other pins, and they're actually really sharp, and I just say to the learners that the hat blocking pins are for adult use only. Of course, if they need to move a ruler around, then you're going to have to use masking tape or drawing pins, but I find these really quite quick and quite easy, and they're tactilely very different from all the other pins. Okay, so if the learner has either two lines or two shapes or three shapes or a number of shapes, I will actually guide the learner to the question number. Say this is question 1, say it's equipment 1 in braille there. I would put the pin in front of it and say this was 2, I'd put the pin in front of it so that they can quickly find what question number they're on. I'm actually going to move those slightly up because the braille would be slightly up. So I tend to mark question numbers and letters with the square pin. Comparing lengths of lines, this needs a lot of practice and continual use, but I would encourage the learner to move their hands from one length of the line to the other. So I would tend to tell a story. I would call this Rosie finger and this Lily finger, and I'd say Rosie goes out to the end of the field, and then Lily comes to join it. Lily runs away back to the other end of the field, Rosie joins it, and then Rosie goes back out again. That way I know that their fingers have explored the whole length of the line, and hopefully they will build up a good picture of the line on the page. So if I wanted to compare the lengths of these two lines, it's actually quite tricky to do, because you can do one hand on here and then you can do one hand on here, and it's very difficult to actually remember tactilely because you can't compare them at the same time. I find the best way to do this is to use wikki stiks. So I would get the learner to put the end on the line, go to the other end and then fold it.
How easy do you think sort of young children find sort of bending over the wikki stiks?
If they give a wikki stiks from a very young age to create and play with very easily.
Okay.
It's all down to exposure, but if you give a 2-3-year-old wikki stiks enough and get them to create shapes and things with them very easily.
So would you say that was one of the first things you'd be doing then with them before you even maybe attempted things like that? Would be playing with wikki stiks and making shapes with them?
Playing with wikki stiks and mark making on German film, definitely yes. Okay, so this wikki stick can then be moved down to the start of the other line and used as a comparison to say yes, they are the same length.